We're live. Welcome to MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci Hill. And let's see if I can get. Alright, I can see everybody now. I can see everybody. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about falls and about feeling trapped in your body when say you've just been diagnosed with MS and life's pretty good except you feel fatigued occasionally, and then suddenly your left leg or one leg, the knee starts giving out and you don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden you can't count on it. So what happens? You start walking with that leg extended, locked out, and you do that because you've realized that you can't rely on the muscles. Hi, Dee Dee. You can't rely on the muscles to keep that knee joint from failing on you. When that happens, and I'll tell you what, if you don't exercise, if you don't do lunges, if you don't do squats, if you don't sit down and stand up on a chair, on your wheelchair, on your walker, if you don't do that, guess what? It's harder to fight back. It's harder to hold yourself up when your knee fails. Remember, muscles have memory. So when you do these squats, when you do lunges in the swimming pool, in anything, just you got to do it. If you're able to do these, what happens is that when your knee gives out and you start to fall, the muscle memory will kick in, and we need that. We need that because those of us, I have just a number. I fall all the time. What did I do wrong? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I did. I have a trike. It's a trike. And it's an electric trike too, because I live in Maryland and there's lots of hills. So I decided I was going to ride to the pool and swim in the pool. That was great. I was going to ride back. It was a beautiful day. All right. This was on Saturday. So I'm coming back and I'm on the sidewalk because there's this area where there's a lot of traffic. I'm on the sidewalk and there's three teenagers that were over across the field and they would look like they were doing some, I don't know. And I am attention deficit disorder. So I'm riding, all of a sudden I'm looking at the teenagers, right? And you know what happens when your eyes go here, right? The steering wheel was this way, went off the sidewalk, off the curb. I fell off the bike, the trike, off the curb, and I rolled out. All everything got dumped. The trike was dumped on top of me. And I was stuck. I'm laying there in the street. You know what? How awesome God is. Those three teenagers came over. It was two guys and one gal, and helped me up, got me on the trike, put my foot in the pedal and the rat track. It just, are you all right, man? They just took care of me. Hi, good morning, Busy Bee. Uh, it just, so what I'm going to say is that those of us who have this disease will be told, and I think about you, Jim, you or John, you emailed me, I, that your wife is calling you lazy. Hi, Phil. It's you know what? Anybody who has anything wrong with them cannot own when somebody calls you lazy. You're not lazy, it's like it's a whole new world out there dealing with that. Um, all right. How do we feel restricted? We feel restricted in life because our minds are limited, not necessarily because of our bodies are limited. As things go away, other things make up. Just because you have did any of us email her, Diana? I was about to call her, but everything gets messed up. So anyway, Diana had her surgery. Yeah, we need to. I need to, and I'll write that down. I'll call Diana. Diana. All right. So back to freedom. Free. Our restrictions in life are limited to our imagination, right? If we're sitting there and we're thinking, oh, I, I can't do anything. I can't, then you won't, right? Then you won't. I'm in a new phase. This is tomorrow. I have a neurology appointment. Uh, so, so I'm gonna go and find out because it looked like my in my medical notes, my diagnosis. Hi, Dennis. My diagnosis was changed. It was changed to tell me that I don't have to push myself so much. It's an excuse. It's an excuse. So, Dennis, have you found the pool yet? Have you gotten a swimming pool? We have to. We have to. Because the limitations are limitations. Again, I I was a expert skier. All right, I was an advanced intermediate skier, but what was great was that all right, or what was I going to? Where was I was reading and limitations. All right. I forget what I was saying because Dee Dee, I was reading, forget what it was. Does anybody remember what I was saying? Diane, yes, I have written down to call you. All right. God, Diana, if I could read that. When's your surgery, Diana? Because we are inquiring minds want to know. Again, so give you an idea that um, when people say stay safe, you've got to be careful, which all three of these teenagers like, you've got to be more careful. I said, well, if you weren't there, I wouldn't have been looking at you, and I would have been more careful. But I gave them each a bookmarker. I prayed for them. It was good. I don't, God figured this is the worst. It's not so much the bleeding sore, but if you notice, it's all swollen around the heart like crazy. So the elbow, and that's the worst because you want to lean on your elbow in bed. All right, Diana, did you have your surgery? Did you, and how is it going? Because we've all been thinking about you. I meant to call you on Saturday. I meant to, but I fell, but I was banged up, and on Sunday I was licking my wounds. But again, our limitations, right, Diana? You can tell our limitations are in our head, right? And what I'm saying is that this is we can learn from Diana. She kept having bladder infections. It was so bad that they decided they needed to remove her bladder, right? So I love that in that you are getting control of your disability, Diana, of what is causing you pain. There's a saying, if it offends thee, remove it. I'm to the point where left leg is so heavy to pick up and move around that I'd like them to remove it because I think it would be easier to pick up and it wouldn't get in the way. My all right, God is a good doctor. All right, it wouldn't get in the way. And again, we've got the limitations. So I was a novice skier. It was a pretty decent skier, but I always skied with double diamond. I always skied with people that were way above my ability, and I'd follow them because if I skied with them, I had the guts to go so much more. I was a double diamond skier when I skated with double diamond people. Uh, uh, just so, right, Beth, I stopped being able to ski, right? But I swim. And Diana, I mean, I swim. And yesterday I swam. I did physical therapy, did balance exercises. You know what? Isn't it easier to do a push up than it is a squat? We like to succeed. So you've got to put in successes in between what you know is going to be a failure. Doing squats are not fun, right? They're not fun. Doing a lunge, holding on to a wall, and doing a rocking horse lunge. And I've showed you how to do this, right? You need to do this. The msfoundation.org has, no, wait. I'm going to tell you, balancing exercises. All right, it is mstrust.org.uk, and they have an exercise that is just it's balancing. So you do the therapy that's going to help you, and it's not much fun, right? It's not much fun. You got to do a little bit, and then I say if you do 80% of something that you can succeed at, like if I swim yesterday, I swam 20 laps. Normally I swim 40, or length, 40 lengths. Laps is around, I don't do that. But that is freeing. If the water temperature is set and I've got the proper clothing, I would rather swim 80% of the things that I can do well. So we need to do physical rehab or exercises where 80% is easy. It's fun to do push-ups, on a desk. Every time you walk in the kitchen, if you can do 10 push-ups, if you can, even if you walk with a walker, we've got to have our upper body being able to pick us up. And this is exercise, right? And lowering, right? We got to practice picking up the heavy leg. We need to do that. So when we do this, all right, we do physical therapy. We sandwich it with things that we can succeed, with 20% of things that we need to do that we fail at. Here is an exercise. Hi, Laura. One of the exercises that I'm just working on is balancing exercises, and that will prevent falls. All right, when you've had MS for 38 years, right? All right, so one of the things, if you're sitting on your couch, if you just roll from cheek to cheek, try to keep your body up, and so you roll from cheek to cheek, and then you close your eyes. So you got to work on your balance. Uh, uh, Diana, you have not answered us. Uh, you've not answered us. Uh, it's true, but you know what? I tomorrow I'm going to the neurologist, um, and I'm going to ask. And before I was listed as relapsing remitting, and then secondary progressive, but now they're listing me as relapsing progressive, which has a different prognosis than secondary chronic progressive. So, you know what? Balancing exercises. So, summer lady, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? Balancing exercises. All right, what? Copy live stream. All right. Okay. So I put down, I think, all right. All right, I pinned. All right. Okay. So at the very top, I just pinned. Hi, Warren. Ah, you know what? You're amazing. You're amazing on your exercises. And we're talking about preventing falls. So if you look up, I just typed a link that you can go and design your own MS workout. Personal stories, it's build your own exercise routine. There's balance exercises. We need that. We need that because I'll tell you what. I do you remember? Do you remember I was? Do you remember I showed you my MRI? My MRI showed that my cervical spine, my neck, had all of a sudden it had holes in the myelin that that explained why I have balancing issues. I never had balancing issues. I thought it was finite, and I thought energy. I thought, all right, you can deal with energy. You have to deal. So how do we get free of the bondage we put ourselves in? Fear is false evidence appearing real. You're sitting on your couch and I have one of my friends gave me 40 daffodils that have to be planted. It's cold outside, not cold. It's 60, but 60 degrees is cold for me. But you know what? I've got my sweater behind me. I've got that. I've got to do all of these exercise, providing I need to get out there. So do I want to? Do I want to get out and get down? I remember having an attack so bad I couldn't walk. So I put on fatigues, canvas pants, And I went out in the yard and I crawled and I hand weeded everything. And today I've got to rake out the leaves and plant the daffodils. I need balance about, I'll have my husband check on me every half an hour, and that is great. And more, that's wonderful for you to have a Bowflex. I used to own a gym, partner in owning a gym, and everything we did with free weights. Uh, each person needs to develop their own program based on what they know is true with their weaknesses. And here's a clue. Your clue is the exercise you hate doing is the one that you need the most. The one, the one. It's not fun. It's not. You know what? It's we've got to exercise, right? Because what can you do? I modified my hip flexor assisted device. I, I extended the pull on my foot so I can actually use it's HFAD. I have a video about that. Just wonderful, wonderful thing for if your hip flexor is going out, if your foot drop, if your knee doesn't bend. Those it's a mechanical thing that lit with bungees and zip tie. You know what? Get that. I think it's $200. Get a bunch of zip ties and modify it. So, all right. One of the things we can do is it's called analysis paralysis, right? We sit on the couch. Yeah, you know what, Warren, I find the gym loud as well. But we sit on the couch and we think about the things we can't do, right? So it's hard to get started to do things if we're too busy focusing. Oh, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I can't do that. You can't means you won't, right? What are you willing to do? There's got to be three stages. Remember, the way I did is I believe making a list of things you have to do today, and putting numbers 1, 2, and 3. How much energy you need? The most amount of energy, 1, right? And the least amount of energy, 3. So 1 will be me planting these bulbs, and that 1 is raking out that the leaves that are the right left side of my garden. 1 is emptying my various baskets I in the rooms. That's all 1. Number 2. What is number 2? Number 2 is I got a lot of business stuff I have to do. Uh, um, and then number 3 is probably doing things on the internet like banking, locating parts for my Mazda. By the way, my Mazda uh, is still parts are still out. It's been over 2 months, and it's got my disability ramp on the back, and I'm not able to go anyplace by myself for over 2 months. So if anybody knows where I can get Mazda parts, I've got the part numbers. Please, 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 and up. All right. Let's see. All right. We need to restrict ourselves and to safety without. We have to pre-plan avoiding disasters. Meaning, I have that disability scooter. I have my trike. I have my narrow walker, and then I've got my really wide Richard walker. And I really like the wide Richard walker when I with my AFO going out in the garden because I can get down. No, no, not really. No, it's thinking getting one of those. I'm walking. Yeah, you know what? Wow. You know, everybody needs to do something a little. You know what I did that wasn't fun? 45 minutes. I got a therapy pool and I did balancing exercise. I did a twist standing up. It's very much like I used to teach Tai Chi, the Yang style. You look over your head, you sit up. So you got, I did all that. And the gal who was telling me my next exercises, she says, it doesn't look like you're doing anything. And I had to keep sitting down because I was exhausted. It's kind of like somebody you love telling you, you're being lazy. You're being lazy. You're not being lazy. I look at her, only 45 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. But 45 minutes, she says, you haven't done anything. I said, I've done balancing stuff, core stuff. It is so hard. It was so much harder than doing 20 laps, 20 lengths. Uh, 80% is the 20 lengths. Problem is that I needed to do 40 lengths and 15 minutes of balancing therapy stuff. You know, you got to do what is fun. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, after a fall, after you fall off, see, I'm not going to limit my trike. You can see, I'm not going to limit my ability to get out and do something, even if it's wrong, because people say, be careful. Well, you know what? We wouldn't get out of bed, right? How do you have a decent life when you don't feel like going to school that day? You know, you have to uh, figure out how you're going to leave the house. You've got the lesson, the chance of you falling, so you got to pick the right uh, ability advice. Oregano oil, okay, Diana, and that is good. Oregano oil, I have that for UTI or for kidney infection. Myra, I have oregano oil, but I'm taking, the black blackwood, black walnut oil, and clove oil combination. But anyway, what do? We have to be. It's drops. It's drops. So we have to lessen the fact that we're going to fall. All right, what does that mean? Also, a lot of times when you have to go to the bathroom and you're out and you're doing something, all of a sudden that additional stressor will make you fall. Right? It's like you can't balance, you can't juggle too many things. You have to have your water with you. Always have your water with you. Always have something to eat. I might be able to take a risk. I might. Wow. All right. Warren's talking about he works as a truck mechanic and would have to do the same. He's got to be able to lift 70 pounds. And I want to, and Diana is worried about having a hernia because, yeah, a hernia because of her surgery. It might make her weaker. And Myra talks about she does the Swanson vitamin. I have it's oregano oil. I believe it's 1, 2, 3. There's a number behind it. It's a tincture, so you only do 2 drops. So and that along with black walnut oil, antifungal, antibacterial, antiparasitic. So it's supposed to be. I don't know. I have it, so I've been taking it. Give it to the dog. All right, so you guys are talking about core strengthening. Core strengthening has a lot to do with your balance. So if you go to your left, and Diana, if you look at the top, I pinned a link uh, to designing your own personal uh, exercise program. With the weakness, again, it's when you're sitting on the couch and you're not doing anything, and your spouse walks by and says you're being lazy. First of all, you can't take that to heart. You can't let anybody, because that'll make you feel bad, and you know better. It's like, ugh, you cannot put enough caffeine in this body to make me feel awake right now. I took one Ritalin earlier, and I'll take another one because I am half asleep. Wait, I'm half asleep. I was taking Young Living 4 drops and carrier. All right, all right. Um, I know you guys are talking about uh, oregano oil. Oregano oil. It begins with a P. Oregano oil. All right. Let's see. Oil. P73. It's oregano oil P73. All right. P73. You shop right in Swanson. All right, it doesn't tell you. All right. All right, what does oregano oil do? Let's see. Oregano oil. All right. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Oil of wild oregano, Mediterranean P73. It's heavy duty, immune support. It's 285% more oregano oil to olive oil ratio. All right. squirrel. So that has to do with the. All right, let's see if I can know what to do about the bladder. And Summer Lady is talking about bladder. The longer you have MS, also it's awful. We've got to clear our bladder. We've got to drink lots of water. We got to push any storage of old urine in our bladder becomes funky. Uh, it's like having a little bit of gas in your car. You don't want to run it down all the way down because you get the sludge. It's not healthy. New gas, half the gas, new gas. So you never let it go below a quarter tank. Well, you know what? If we completely, constantly drink and we try to drain our bladder, let's see, Judy from MS Frontier Secondary Progressive, she has a trick that she leans forward on the commode and runs her hand along her lower back above her butt, and that will help her drain. She's been nurse, and she says that will help drain. Does preventive by taking cranberry before bed. That's what I need to do. And you know what? I swear by cranberry. Although my neurourologist, she says there's no evidence that cranberry works. But I go to Puritan Pride. They have, I think it's 42,000 milligrams of cranberry concentrate. It's the highest amount. I take that in the morning and at night, and I just, you know what? I do not have UTIs. I knock on wood. No, you know what? I've got God. I don't need to do any of these superstitions. Uh, Cranberry does not help with bladder control. It only helps. It only helps with the infection. So what does cranberry do? What helps with bladder control is the classic medications: Ditropan, Detrol, Vesicare. There's begins with an M, Mobic or something. It's a new medication. Uh, there, I have a stimulator that with Ditropan seems to work. There's diapers. It's just, you know what, Diana? You know what? There are people who are 20 years old that think this is good. I'll tell you what, 20, when I was 32, it was as good as it was going to get. It was as good. It was as good as it was going to get. Uh, that was 32. That was 20 years ago. So my peak was 20 years ago. Does that mean it's as good as it's going to get? Or is that me defining what I feel as good as it's going to get? Remember, your thoughts are not your thoughts. My thoughts, God says, my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. And that's in Isaiah 55, 8, verse 8. And so, you know what we define as being productive might just mean we get in a scooter and go to the end of our driveway and smile at a neighbor. Smile. Let the Lord lead you. Let your successes are planned throughout the day, as long as you're not being lazy, right? And you know how you're lazy. And I know how I'm lazy. But it has nothing to do with somebody walking down and the hallway and seeing you on the couch and seeing stuff that needs to be done and saying, you're acting lazy. It's like, yeah. You don't know. I've got a committee in my head figuring out what I have to do. You ever notice that whenever you get on the computer, or you have plans to get on the computer and research and do this and set up offsite parking and set up bills, and you have all that written down, and then you sit down at the computer and you forget. So you write it all down, what is safety, what you need to do. All right, what you need to do. I've got all my level 2 and 3s down here. Plant and nursery. I actually have level 1. All right, whose birthday? Whose birthday is it today? What is, all right, let's see, somebody's having a birthday. All right, happy birthday. Diana's having a birthday. So, happy birthday, Diana. All right, so when we plan to overcome our challenges, our balance challenges, we've got to take the right. If we're too weak to walk, we get to take a scooter. If we have the AFL and you plan like yesterday trivia night. So I did not feel strong enough taking my bike to the gym, which is 2 miles down the road, and then swimming and doing the physical therapy, and I just didn't feel like I had it. So so what did I plan? I got my wide walker and I took that to pull. It we have to pre-plan. We have to pre-plan. You just have to pre-plan fall. You have to pre-plan if you want to. Uh, if you know what, all right, I'm reading and I'm talking. Pre-plan everything so you don't fall. You know what? That means some of us need a fold-up cane in a walker. Some of us need a fold-up cane in a scooter. You know. Anyway. Um, All right, June. You know what? Warren, when's your birthday? I'm a June baby too. But you know what? That's spring. I'm in the spring. Wouldn't miss it. You know, love the spring. Spring is the best season. It is the best season. Elena, did I say hi to you? Anyway, so we're talking about preventing falls, about not being in fear and having the guts to do something productive. Because just because we don't feel productive doesn't mean we aren't. So what we have to do is make a list, because at the end of the day, you always want to go back and check what you've done to achieve your life, right? Yeah, you know what, Diana, you're too young to be tired of pre-planning. Yeah, yeah, you don't get to get tired of pre-planning. Everybody needs pre-planning. Everybody needs this. Uh, uh, everybody needs to pre-plan. It we just know when we don't pre-plan, bad things are more likely to happen. It's I didn't pre-plan the fact that I was going to fall off the bike. But here, I had a lanyard attached to my cell phone around my neck. And this is good. So when I fell, if those teenagers weren't there, I could have easily called my husband, come pick me up. But by then, I'm telling you, why would it change? Somebody would have had to drive around me and would have stopped the car and picked me up. It's all good, and it's good. It's let me tell you something. It's better to fall in public than it is in private. There is a bell curve where you start falling. You don't want to do it in private because you don't want people to overreact, and then all of a sudden the amount of time you fall, you'd rather do it in public because you'd rather them pick you up and dust you off and put a band-aid on your elbow that's bleeding or your ankle or your thigh all over. Uh, Warren, that is great. Warren, that is great. That is great. And your primary progressive, you 65, primary progressive, two Harleys, heavy engine mechanic. You got to pick up 70 pounds. You hear that? You hear how awesome Warren? Oh my God. Uh, I know. Is it me or yeah, Harleys? Harleys. If you can afford a Harley, I'll tell you what. Harley, good for you. But again, no, urgent. Warren, there is male incontinence uh, um, underpants that you can wear on your Harley because the problem is it's it has nothing to do. If you notice, if you're near the toilet, you're not urgent, right? It's only when you're doing a number of things by your car, you got the keys, you have to hold this, you have to get your walker out, you have to, you know, you have to, the more things you have to do, uh, the less your your bladder, the less likely your bladder is going to behave. At that point, your bladder is like a toddler; it wants to be taken notice. You're on the phone, and your bladder's like, "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy," and it's like, "Mommy," right? And then you just pee. You know what? They're starting to feel the MS. So you know what? Again, it is good. It's 65. Eh, write down what you're productive. Write what you can control. Remember, what can we control? Always, when you have an epic fail, ask yourself, how can I prevent that in the future? Where is it my fault? Do I need to do more lunges? Force more strength in my leg? Do I need to force more strength in my upper body? Is there, like, there's methazine? Methazine will help dizziness if it's related to an inner ear problem. Uh, you know, it different medications we take uh, create problems, dizziness. Is it because you have brain lesions, or is it because you take all right, I'm sorry. Summer lady, just type in the medications you take to control your bladder. There's also desmopressin, DESMOSPRESSIN, turns off your bladder for 4 hours. One spray is like 4 hours, two sprays like 8 hours. I have lived on it. And Warren's on Ocrevus, and that's a good thing. And again, yeah, we have to figure out what caused our fall so we don't have it. Get this, when you go to your neurologist, and tomorrow when I go, it's time I ask for an occupational therapist to come to my house and tell me uh, what is caused me problems, what's making it harder to walk around. We've got to do that. So tomorrow, uh, I've got my neurology appointment. I've got to clarify my diagnosis so that I know what to do in the future. Pre-plan, right? Uh, all right. Your neurologist, you know what? And Warren, you may want to go to a neurogenic urologist that specializes in neurogenic bladder. That is neurology bladder that is neurogenic. If you have MS, you can go to a regular urologist for a while, but every once in a while, you've got to go to a uh, uh, neurogenic bladder. Hi, Paul. Let's see. Yeah, all right. A lot of people on Ocrevus. A lot of people. I'm on generic rituximab. And don't forget to get your CD19 checked, your levels, because Ocrevus and rituximab and the off-label rituximab, uh, it kills CD19, which is responsible for, it's a monoclonal antibody, meaning only clonal. Mono is one clonal. It kills the CD, one CD on the cell, on the white blood cell. What is it? CD19. If that's got to be below, what is it? Below 6. Below 6, and so see if you can get CD19, right? You know what, Summer Lady, falls falls are the number one reason why people die in the United States. Falls. Falls are something that is so common with MS. So common. When you lift weights and you stretch and you do different things, when you fall, you don't hurt as much, right? You don't get injured. I fell uh, from my high trike off of the bike, off of a curb onto pavement, and I got a bruise on my elbow and where the frame of the bike fell against my leg. I got cuts and stuff, but no broken bones, right? Part of it is that we learn how to fall. And you fall and you roll, and there's ways to fall that you don't stick your arm out, you don't cause your bones to break, right? Because you know what? I am I fractured my ribs, I fractured my tibia, my shin, knee going up, cracked it vertically. I know because spasticity, right? How fractured my finger, my wrist, orbital bone, fractured that, fractured. You know, fracture happens when you don't know how to fall. So we've got to have a fall session. All right, and Summer Lady says my toes grip so covered my whole living space with yoga mat so it doesn't hurt. Yeah, it's true because you gotta work on your toes, up and down on your toes, right? Everybody has to do. It's scary, and walking with an AFO and realizing when you don't have enough energy to lift your toe up. If you don't, then wear your AFO. Then pick what you're gonna work on. Pick what you're gonna work on, and limit the ability to fall. Do you need an occupational therapist to look around your house and say, "Oh, you don't have enough grips in your by your bed. You don't have, oh, you need ballet bars going down your hall." There are things that we can do that can stack our odds to be safer. We have to be safer because we can't fall. We cannot fall. Uh, I can't do the yoga mats. I can't do anything that grips on the floor. Is that if I fall because my left leg plants and it may stick, I have to slide it forward. Not only sometimes I can pick up my knee, but I can't. I can't do it. Can't do it. Anyway, love to all of you guys. Let's get together. If you on Facebook, if you are able to do the, let's see, mstrust.org.uk/life dash MS. If you're able to get on that site, you can design your very own rehab program. Besides that, let me just pray us out. I love all of you. I know that we're going to get together again on Thursday. Uh, for all those people who aren't here, thank you. Thank you for all the people that are. Um, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. May I ask that you just come into everybody's watch today and participated today and enable us to do what you would have us do, to be productive and not self-loathing, not so critical of ourselves, but have you set our daily successes, Lord. We know that we're perfect in your eyes and you will lead us to where you want our successes to be. In Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. God bless you all, and let's see each other on Thursday. Bye.